Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. There is a big fight coming up at 168 pounds between Kelly Pavlik, who right now has been calling out some of the biggest names, people like Carl Froch, right? It's Kelly Pavlik against Will Rosinsky. Now understand that Will Rosinsky is a bit of a folk hero in New York, where he won 4 Golden Glove Awards, right? And Rosinsky also was the U.S. amateur champion a few years ago at light heavyweight, right? He only has one loss, and that was to Edwin Rodriguez. And there are people online, namely Fair Shake, online on YouTube, who have argued that they saw that fight and they thought Rosinsky got robbed. Let me also say, just by way of background, I've been following Rosinsky a bit because I was raised in Queens, New York City. Although I live someplace else now, I actually follow people from my home borough in New York City. So I follow ESPN Stephen A. Smith, Hip Hop's 50 Cent, Golden State Warriors coach Mark Jackson, LL Cool J, Monty Barrett, Nas, Al Roker, Lucy Liu, Donald Trump, Chris Walken. You know, it's just a hobby of mine keeping up with where I'm from. And Will Rosinsky right now is one of the biggest boxing stars coming out of Queens, New York City. Here's the problem. While I'm rooting for Will Rosinsky, I'm betting on Kelly Pavlik, right? Kelly Pavlik has problems. His reflexes, even at 30 years old, seem to have dimmed to me, right? Pavlik has been changing trainers. You always want to keep track of a fighter who changes trainers, is trying something new, is trying to rediscover himself or learn new skills at 30 years of age. But what Kelly has, and what I believe is the difference maker in this fight, what I believe will get him the win, is his jab. You know, first of all, Pavlik is a bigger guy. He's 6'2 and a half. Rosinsky's only 5'10". Rosinsky likes to body guys. He likes to get inside. He likes to fight you on your chest. The problem is that when you're fighting Kelly Pavlik, who hits hard, you have to come through the jab to get to Pavlik. And Kelly's jab is an excellent jab. Now, I picked against Kelly online when he fought Sergio Martinez because I believe that Martinez, a fighter who stays away, who can fight low, is exactly the kind of fighter who would give Kelly Pavlik a hard time, right? Pavlik has a problem with movers, fighters who can stay outside, fighters who can force him to move his feet. I believe he would have a problem with Andre Durrell. But Will Rosinsky's not that kind of fighter. Rosinsky is a guy who is up on you. He's in your face. Right? Well, the problem is when you try to body Kelly Pavlik, you get beaten up with a steady diet of jabs. And then, of course, if you're lucky enough to get by the jab, then you get hit with left hooks. Then you get hit with straight right hands. Right? I think that's what's going to happen to Will Rosinsky in this one. I'll be surprised if Pavlik doesn't look very impressive. I believe Pavlik has a clean shot here at a knockout. And understand, Will Rosinsky has never been knocked out professionally, right? I just feel that if you're a tough guy and you're like Will Rosinsky, where you don't punch particularly hard, right? He has some knockouts, but they're really the wear you down type knockouts. And of course, when you charge it like Rosinsky does, and you're a little bit negligent defensively, on my channel page right now, I have the film of Rosinsky against a fighter named Jose Ramirez. What's noteworthy in that fight is Rosinsky gets knocked down in the first round of that fight, and of course gets off the canvas and stops Ramirez in the same round. But you'll see, he gets excited, he comes in, he gets caught clean, he gets caught naked, his hands are not up when Ramirez hits him with the knockdown punch. Right now, against a Ramirez, you can get up from that. Against a Kelly Pavlik, you might not be so lucky. I would encourage everyone to take a look at Pavlik's fight against Edison Miranda. It's on YouTube. Take a look at the first fight between Pavlik and Jermaine Taylor, right? Understanding that Taylor was unbeaten at the time of that fight. Now, I know Pavlik has been in the news for the wrong reasons, but understand he's only lost to two guys, and they are among the most skilled in the sport, right? Bernard Hopkins and Sergio Martinez. Those are the only two losses that Kelly Pavlik has. And so before we write off Pavlik, let's see him against Will Rosinsky. I believe he's going to look impressive. He's on a comeback streak. And I believe Rosinsky, who just beat Aaron Pryor Jr., a fighter many people claim, like Pavlik, is taller and works behind a jab. I believe Rosinsky, who has been on a roll, is a credible opponent. I just think he hasn't figured out how to get by a jab. And I just get the feeling that Pavlik hits hard enough where Rosinsky's defensive lapses are going to come back to haunt him. I like Kelly Pavlik to win this fight, depending on the odds. I would encourage you to even spice the bet up by taking Pavlik to win, and then whatever you expect to win off that fight, by actually putting that expected winnings amount on Pavlik by knockout. I think Pavlik has a chance to become the first man to stop Will Rosinsky. Pavlik hits that hard. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments for me here online. Visit us at gamblersadvisory.com. Thanks for watching.